Before getting started, let's bring out the pattern measurement with Shift Z. Okay, we will be creating the sleeve out of one piece of pattern that will wrap around her arm, and it's going to connect right here at the bottom of her arm. So we believe the sleeve wrap around her arm. We can help ourselves with the arm length. So approximately 200 plus 200. So let's go with 400, and let's just go ahead and grab our rectangle tool and click once. We are going to be using dialog box and input the width 400, and we are going to leave the height at 500 since we are going to adjust that later, and hit OK. Just go to transform pattern tool and just move the pattern aside. Now we are going to wrap this piece of fabric on her arm with the use of the arrangement points that we already know can be found here, and we are going to select the pattern just created, and we are going to position it right here around her arm. Alright, so that the back meets right here as we discussed. Turn off the points. You can position this even better if you want. Alright, as you can see, now this part of the sleeve is going to be shown to this part of the front, and other part is going to be shown on the back, this part. And since we are going to be using the segment sewing tool, it makes sense to put a part right here. So we are going to able to show it on easier. So we are going to take our add point tool and right click and go with uniform split, and we are going to make the number of segments to 2. Okay, so completely identical 2 segments, and the line is splitted right in the middle. Now we can easily connect 2 segments to their pieces. Now if you forget which part to sew onto, you can always help yourself with the yellow dot. So let's grab our segment sewing tool. As you can see, the seam lines are going straight, which means that's fine, and the other part is going here, and let's just connect that. Okay, now we can simulate, and once that's done, we can now connect that two end part together to close it off. So from here to here we have connected these two parts, and let's simulate it. Okay, now it's done, and it's the same as we have talked. Now we have a better line now how this actually appears, and of course it's a lot more looser than we want to be. We can easily fix that with the edit pattern tool. Okay, and we are going to grab this point and push them inwards. But before I do that, of course I would like to push these points with the exact same amount on the left and on the right side. So I am going to press shift, so I get this constraint, and instead of just dropping the points, I am going to press my right mouse. So I get a dialog box that let me input the length of the distance that I want, and let's go for 100. So click and drag and right mouse button, and the distance that I wanted to be moved is 100. Hit OK, and let's simulate that. Make the sleeve shorter. Now as you can see, it's looking little bit off here where the sleeves and the top meets, and That is because usually sleeves are built such a way that this point sticking out a bit and it also curved. So firstly we are gonna make a stick out of it, and you see it still not working right the way it should be. And so what we are going to do, we are going to select the point, right click and choose convert to curve point. That way we get an identical looking curve all around. And if you feel like the sleeve appear to loose at the top, we can also drag the upper points inward as we did with the bottom ones. Using the same technique, by clicking the right mouse button and input the same distance for both sides, and let's smooth the left and the right point for the same amount 40 and simulate, and now it's looking much better. You can even push the sleeve little bit up to get an interesting effect. Okay, so this is for this one side. I am going to take out our transform pattern tool, and we just going to copy, actually mirror copy the other side. So control C and control R to create mirror copy. Now what I want is, I want to position these sleeves here in the middle. So I am just gonna make everything more organized. Okay, now keep this in the middle, this one also. Okay, all right. Now I am going to select these both sleeves and right click and choose symmetric pattern. Okay, so in left sleeve this sew is not done, so I'll do it manually. I choose add point tool and create a point here. Now with segment sewing tool, create sewing this side and from this side to this sides in the back. Okay, after that with the help of gizmo just position them correctly so that it will simulate properly. Okay, so now let's simulate. Okay, so as you notice, with MD using the right mouse button usually opens up settings involving moving points, splitting lines or copying elements in exact length and numbers. And to remember while you do patterns, it can save you a lot of time.